What's up and welcome to the Sam Dracula channel, Charlotte Hornets fan channel, and it's over. The regular season is over. It is 6:30 on April 10th. The Hornets and Wizards game just wrapped up a little bit ago. Earlier today, I was at the Charlotte FC game, so that's shout out to them. They beat Atlanta. Can the Hornets beat Atlanta? We'll see. Can they continue the trend? We'll see. But the regular season is done with. Hornets, Hawks, Wednesday. They play the loser of Cleveland and Brooklyn. Probably Cleveland, but who the hell knows? How Hornets would it be to face the Nets in the play-in for the privilege of playing the Miami Heat? Because that's where our destiny lies. If the Hornets handle their business in the play-in against the Hawks and against the Cavs or the Nets, we get the lucky fortune of playing against the Miami Heat in the first round of the Eastern Conference playoffs. And that's a video for another day. This video is about the regular season. It's behind us. 82 games done. First time in a long time. We had the shortened season last year, the bubble season before that, 82 games in the bag. We had health and safety protocols. We had injuries as a squad. It's been a lot of this, a lot of streaks, good and bad, and the end result, the first winning season since 2016, the first positive season since 2016. Still a 10 seed, but we take the dubs where we can get them. I want this video to be current, but also a bit of a time capsule if you want to reference this later on, right? This is the year Miles Bridges took a leap. This is the year LaMelo Ball became an all-star. This is the year Gordon Hayward is left out of the QC3 nickname, where he missed 22 games, has been deactivated for the rest of the season. Oh man, Gordon, 48 games played this year. Still improvement over last year though. Gordon played in 5 more games than last year. We take those, okay? We take those. Hayward missing 22 games of the season, right, for that ankle injury, and then coming back for the Sixers game, and then not being available for another 2 weeks. If the Hornets are still alive, it's tough. The Hornets are missing a key piece of the puzzle. Fortunately, this team still has options with the same position and from a veteran point of view, covered. More importantly, we saw PJ return to the starting 5, a place where I think he deserves to be. Not for any sentimental reasons, but because I think he's much more suited to be a starter than a bench player. I think it better suits his play style. And you can see it. You can see it since Hayward's been out. Keeping it in the negative, so to speak, this is also the year where we had 2 first-round rookies barely touch the floor. All right, James Bouknight and Kai Jones, in my opinion, for 2 very different reasons. You weren't involved in the regular season. All right, starting with James Bouknight. He appeared in 30 games, averaging 10 minutes per game. Does it seem like it? It certainly doesn't to me. There's a lot of garbage time in those minutes. I think James Bouknight holds a lot of promise as a prospect. Hopefully next year we can see more of him. I don't think we see it in the play-in. There's too little. There's no time left, right, for Bouknight to get involved. Hopefully next year, if there aren't any plans to get him involved, hopefully they explore the trade market with him, because I don't want to. This is looking like another Malik Monk situation, and I hate to see it for everybody's sake. It's not good for the team. It's not good for the player. All right, Kai Jones. We knew he was going to be a project. I don't think anyone had any high expectations of him getting a lot of run in the NBA this early. 20 games he's appeared in, 3 minutes per game in those games. All garbage time, literally all garbage time. He spent a lot of time in Greensboro this season, and that, for me, expected. He has a lot to learn as a prospect, as a player. I think his time will come. We just got to be more patient with him than Bouknight specifically. But I'm a believer in Kai Jones. I'm a high believer in Kai Jones. We traded a first-round pick for Kai Jones to get back into the first round, and I think the team wants that to work out, because Atlanta has that pick, ironically. So, Kai, Hornets fans, we all got to be patient. Kai Jones' time will come in this league. It's just this year will be remembered for just the minor glimpses of Kai Jones's potential during garbage time. This year will also be remembered for the rare mid-season trade by Mitch Kupchak, trading Ish Smith and Vernon Carey Jr. and a second rounder for Montrezl Harrell on like right at the deadline, like an hour or so before the deadline hit. So the trade itself, big dub. Ish Smith, veteran point guard, didn't do anything wrong, but didn't really like push things forward. Just was there. I was happy with them. You know, when he was on the floor, it worked. It wasn't bad, but it didn't really bring anything, which I'll talk about in a second. So putting him in the deal, sending him back to Washington where he came from, easy call, right? And then you look at Vernon Carey being part of that deal for Harrell. It's like, well, he wasn't playing, so what's the point? Like, might as well trade him, you know? I don't think Vernon Carey has a future here anyway. I think we have too many forwards that have passed him up, Nick Richards included. Forwards, front court players, what I mean. Front court players that have passed him up in the rotation as far as prospects go. So it was an easy decision for a one-year rental in Harrell. And I think Harrell, his pick and roll game, his energy, his toughness, he got slapped with a big old fine for getting into an NBA fight, you know? Harrell's a dog. We need more of those guys on this team to bring that energy level up, to keep his teammates accountable when the energy is low. But overall, the year that Montrezl Harrell came into our lives as Hornets fans, dub. Ish is put in that deal for Harrell, right? Later on, Isaiah Thomas, not even later on, like last month, Isaiah Thomas is signed. Not one, but two 10-day contracts signed on for the rest of the season. He showed he could bring a lot more to the table than Ish Smith was and could. And no disrespect to Ish, but Isaiah was bringing that heat off the bench. From an offensive point of view, as a creative point of view, he was leading that second unit at times. He allowed LaMelo to play off ball at times, which freed him up to do other things, to show off more LaMelo Ball skills that we're seeing presently, more than Devontae could and did, more than Terry could and did as point guards, more than Brad Wanamaker did, and again, more than Ish did. This is the first time in LaMelo's tenure in Charlotte where he played with a point guard that suited his play style. And, you know, I don't know what happens in the future, but as of April 10th, 2022, I am more than happy of running it back with Isaiah Thomas next year. Another thing that this season will be defined by Kelly Oubre. His first year in Charlotte, a lot of this. Kelly Oubre is an enigma. I am happy he was brought here. I think he fits the team better than Malik or Devontae could or would have if those guys would have been brought back, because I think Kelly's a more complete player, more experienced player than either of those guys combined. So I think, and his contract next season is partially guaranteed. So I think the Kelly Oubre business, the business side and the basketball point of view, dubs across the board. But the streaky shooting is a rip, all right? He knows this. We know this. He's very effective at going towards the rim. And I really wish he stuck more to that versus shooting in coverage and just settling for those jumpers. Like really bailing the other team out in those instances, because he's pretty deadly when he goes to the rim. Hornets fans, I get it. I think the Hornets have a trade to make in the summer. Between Kelly, the emergence of Jalen McDaniels, especially recently. Jalen's been shooting the lights out of the ball in the last few games of the season since he's been back from an injury. Like, shout out to Jalen. But between Kelly, Jalen, and Cody Martin, we'll see what happens with Gordon Hayward and JT Thor. A lot of dudes that play the same position. I think the Hornets have a trade to make in the summer. We'll see what happens, though. But that's a video for another day. Speaking of JT Thor, this season, the 21-22 season will also be remembered because this is the year JT Thor joined us, bruh. The standout rookie, the second round draft pick, the guy the Hornets got because they traded up in the second round to draft him, not to draft him specifically, but drafted him and acquired Mason Plumlee in the same deal. Dub. JT Thor has a lot of promise. He has an NBA body already. He seems to be a capable defender and a willing shooter. I am so hopeful about what he can become under the Hornet system. We've seen what this club has done with Jalen, with Cody Martin. JT Thor is gonna be the next one of them boys. I'm telling you right now, I'm here for it. We'll remember the year of JT Thor. It's the start. It's the beginning of his story. He has a long way to go. Don't get me twisted. This year will also be remembered because of Mason Plumlee's left-handed free throws. This guy was in the mud. Right? He got with Jay Triano, the assistant coach. They're like, yo, it can't get any worse. He's shooting 30% from the free throw line. He shot 60-something last year. It's broken, man. It can't get worse. Just shoot it with your left hand and see what happens. What happens? money happens. No, it's much better though. It was way better. He was unplayable in crunch time because of the free throw shooting. And now at this stage, as we have the plane in front of us, I'm not thrilled if he goes to the free throw line, but it's way better than it was a month ago. And so shout out to Plumlee to be able to shed his pride and being able to try something new, realizing that it can't get any worse. And I know he gets a lot of heat because he brings the ball up. He may try to too fancy of a pass from time to time. I get it. No arguments here. But what I want to highlight is and focus on is we will remember this year as the year Mason Plumlee switched hands, Tristan Thompson style, at the free throw line because it was so bad. Shout out to Mason for real for making that adjustment because the Hornets need him. He's the only 7-footer that can play consistent minutes on this team. Harrell, I love Harrell, but he's very much undersized. Same with PJ, same with Miles. We need Mason on the floor as much as possible as we head into the toughest part of the year, the postseason. Another thing that this season I think will be remembered for is the leap that Cody Martin took, right? His brother leaves. The first time they've ever played on different teams since ever, right? Caleb goes to Miami. Cody stays around. He goes from 16 minutes a game to 26 minutes per game. He's in this final stretch. He's the first guy off the bench. He's Borrego's guy, right? Cody, like I mentioned, 16 minutes per game to 26 minutes per game. The point total is not where he makes his bread and butter, right? He's there to play defense, to be a glue guy, much like PJ, right? And to keep the efficiency flowing. He goes from a 27% three-point shooter last year to a 38, if you want to be nice and round up to 39. That's incredible. That's an incredible leap for him as his attempts go up, right? The field goal percentage from 44 to 48%, when his attempts pretty much double. To improve your efficiency while doubling the output, the volume is impressive. We all know, we've seen him, his hustle in transition and in the half court, sliding in to get charges, running the floor for dunks and alley-oop opportunities. Cody Martin stays moving. And while he's shooting like this, he's a problem, right? For other teams, not for us. For other teams, he's a problem. Real quick on Terry. Terry took a small step backwards from last year to this year. Not enough for me to have any issue with, just from a numbers point of view. I think it's important to remember he came into the season hurt, and he took a while to get right. And as soon as he got right, he got put out again. And then when he got right again, he was good again. And, 19 points per game, slightly slower volume and efficiency, but Terry Rozier is still Terry Rozier. I'm glad he's still part of this franchise. I get why people want he's gonna make a lot of money next year following his extension, and fair play, he deserves it. It's still not that much money. Without that extension, he would be an unrestricted free agent this summer, and that doesn't sit well with me. We have nobody that can replace him right now, right? I know people want to see Book Knight in that role. He's not ready yet. I promise you, he would be if he was ready yet. He's not there yet, and that's okay. It's okay. I promise you, it's okay. His time will come. Terry Rozier is a key piece of the puzzle currently. The QC3, rip to Gordon Hayward. Hayward cannot feel good about that nickname, but the QC3 nickname, Terry, Miles, and Melo, the three leading scorers on the team. Miles with 20.3, LaMelo 20.1, Terry with 19.2, leading the charge. That's the core. And it's up to Mitch Kupchak in the offseason. Can't do anything about it right now. In the offseason, tackle it, to improve it, to round it out a little bit, which I think needs to happen if this team wants to make a leap next year and not be a 10 seed again. But we'll see what happens. I'm excited for Wednesday. I'll be live streaming during the play-in game, so stay tuned for that. But that's it for me. What I'm going to go to now is to a few people who are in my Discord that have shared their thoughts on the Hornets season. If you want to be part of these type of videos in the future, join the Discord. Be on the lookout for announcements using the Discord stage feature, allowing people to share their thoughts, unfiltered. I was gonna say unedited, but if you swear, I'm gonna cut it out because YouTube don't like the bad word. You know what I mean? So that's enough from me. Let's kick it over to the homies in the Discord. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.
I can't lie. It was I was kind of disappointed in it. I mean, we started out really hot. I mean, we were like top 5 in the East, and then we just started to lose. I mean, I kind of had higher expectations for this team, but I'll take the play-in. I'll give it a B.
If I could give it a grade, man, it is a B minus C plus, only just because we don't know what's next, right? If we win on Wednesday, then we're good, right? Then we have another shot to at least go to the playoffs, and then, I mean, I don't know how far we can go, but anyway, yeah. What I think about the season, I gotta agree with the last person though. It's very underwhelming, especially when you look at it, man. What are we, 42-39? 3-4 more games, we could have been a 6 seed. We wouldn't have to worry about this, and then we would theoretically go against, we'd have a better shot at least making it to the Eastern Conference Finals. And you got to look at it. I'm also disappointed just because Gordon's still hurt, man, and that's unfortunate. LaMelo's cool that he got in the All-Star game. He deserved it, but I wish Miles was in the slam dunk competition. So for every pro, it's like there's a con as well. Iconic delivery, 2 I's, IICONIC delivery. Look me up on Twitter and Instagram. And yeah, let's go. I'll fly.
I think somewhere around a B is pretty fair. But I'm coming from a position where I've only been watching the NBA for about a year now. And I still think we're, pretty exciting team. And the Orlando loss was a really bad patch. That was really frustrating. The first time I've ever been kind of frustrated watching this team. That was probably one of the most frustrating things for me was, and from coming from someone who's pretty new to basketball and had to learn, all the rules over the last year and how the game flows and rotations and stuff. And I just feel like Borrego's rotations were not that good or not what they should be. And, that's coming from a person that doesn't really understand basketball to the, its deepest complexity.
So shout out to the folks that came through the Discord to share their thoughts on the regular season. Again, if you want to be part of a video like this, just join the Discord. It's 100% free, and be on the lookout for announcements. I'll be back Wednesday for sure for the live stream during the play-in game. I'll also be back for a play-in preview video before then, probably Tuesday. But until then, stay safe out there. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.